Let's get into these factoring problems. So here in 66, we have three terms of trinomial. My leading coefficient is 3. So A, B, C. Remember, when your leading coefficient is not 1, we're going to do A times C. 3 times 1 is 3. We are looking for two numbers that multiply to make 3 but add to make -4. And those two numbers are -3 and -1. So that means that this middle term is going to break up to be -3x minus 1x. And notice it has x's because this term has an x. And then the first and last terms come down. So the A times C split your B creates 4 terms now. So now that I have 4 terms, I can factor by grouping. I'm going to group these two and group these two. The GCF of this group is 3x, and that leaves x minus 1. The GCF of this group, because my leading coefficient is negative, is -1, and that leaves x minus 1. Now you see we have this binomial GCF of x minus 1, and what's left over after I factor that out is 3x minus 1. I'm going to do 75 next because it's very similar to 76. Once again, we have a trinomial. There is no GCF. My leading coefficient is not 1, so I'm going to do A times C, split my B. So 9 multiplied by 1 is 9. What two numbers multiply to make 9 but add to make 6? Those numbers are 3 and 3. So now that means I'm going to split my middle term up to be 3y plus 3y, which is still 6y. I'm going to bring down my last term, bring down my first term. Now, once again, I have 4 terms. I'm going to group these two and group these two. So the GCF of this group is 3y. That leaves 3y plus 1. The GCF of this group is 1. And that factors out to leave 3y plus 1. I see we have a binomial GCF of 3y plus 1. I'm going to factor that out. And what's left over are the two original GCFs, 3y plus 1. So now remember, 3y plus 1 times 3y plus 1 can be written using exponents, 3y plus 1 squared. In number 82, that's the last one, like this. So once again, A, B, C, A is not 1. So 3 times -8 is -24. What two numbers multiply to make -24 but add to make 10? Those numbers are 10 and -2. So, oh, I'm sorry, not 10 and -2. -2 and 12. My apologies. So that means we're going to split this middle term up to be -2v plus 12v. Bring down your last term, bring down your first term. Now we have 4 terms. Group your first two, group your second two. The GCF of this group is v, and that leaves 3v minus 2. The GCF of this group is 4, and that also leaves 3v minus 2. Here's our binomial GCF, 3v minus 2, and what's left over are our two original GCFs. So these 3 problems were all done the exact same because they are trinomials with our leading coefficient not equal to 1.